Hey, welcome, fam. We are here. We just had a nice little blooper. It was kind of funny, but of course, we ain't gonna show it to y'all yet because we ain't like that yet. So, but yeah, we're here because we want to get some real talk, some real conversation when it comes to buying a house, especially in today's market. It's a lot easier than you think, but we want to get all those answers to you, get your questions answered, and put you guys in a power position so you really understand what it's going to take for you to buy a house and how important it is to buy the asset, being the house, and not sticking to liabilities because it's not just buying a house. It's the memories that you're going to create. It's the lifestyle that you're going to create. It's the opportunity financial that you're going to create by being a homeowner. We want to get that information to you. And so today we're going to talk about the buyer's market, how financially you're going to be able to grow by spending right, by spending correctly, by spending a way that is going to help you save money. So we're going to discuss those things a little bit. Again, my name is DJ. I'm your Arizona realtor. This is my boy, Corey. He's the lender, and we are going to give you all the cheese, all the biscuits. So, Corey, let them know about financing when it comes to a buyer's market. How much power do they have?
Right now is the time, right? And I know what you guys are saying. You guys always say it's time to buy a house. You guys always say it's the right time. Well, it's truly never a bad time, right? We have 100 years worth of data that tells you if you buy a house, it's an appreciating asset.
Correct.
You can go back 100 years, literally 100 years. Even if you bought during the Great Depression, if you bought during 2008, if you're staying it, you're going to make money on that house. It's just what happens. So there's a couple ways I want to attack this. One, just why it's a good time now. And also, again, not just focus on the house as the asset, but how we can also leverage some of those funds that you have or may not have into getting into other things to build your entire portfolio. Okay, so first off, home prices have leveled off, but rates are still a little bit high. But we have more inventory on the market than we have had in a long time, right? And it's sitting. So what's the average days on market right now?
About 73.
So we're looking at like 73 days on market. That's a long time. So what you have is you have motivated sellers. Okay, motivated sellers are more apt to give you seller concessions, which means you can use the seller's money to buy down the interest rate. You can use the seller's money to pay your closing costs. Depending on what program you're in, sometimes it will let you don't have to come in with closing costs. So your out-of-pocket expenses can be reduced significantly simply because you're going in now while the market is slow, right? When everybody jumps in the pool, it doesn't happen. Now there's competition, and now sellers have multiple offers, and now you're gonna be like, hey, can I get seller concessions? They're going to say, hell no. I got three offers.
Yeah, why would I give my money to you when I got an offer here and an offer there? I mean,
right. So it doesn't make any sense, right? Yeah. So that's the first reason why, like right now, is a good time, right? It's summertime, it's hot, right? Any business decision is best when you have the most options and the market's down. That's the opportunity, right? You've all heard it: buy low and sell high. But too often what happens is you buy a stock, the stock market goes down, everybody's like, oh shit, I got to get out of the market.
Right.
And I'm just like, no.
That's the time you double down.
Yes, you put more money in the market at that point.
It's going to come back.
Because it's going to come back. So I just want to make sure that our mindsets are correct in that and looking at this the correct way. Like this is an opportunity. It's slower. It's an opportunity right now.
Yeah. Now, like I said, it's a time to double down on you wanting to buy a house because the market is slow. So that means you got more negotiating power. You have the ability to ask for everything, including the kitchen sink, and then some, because what's the worst thing they can say is no. As a real estate agent, I want to make sure that you get the best deal possible. So the market itself is saying, put your offers in now so that you can get to the table and negotiate those numbers. You have the power as a seller. I would think that I want to sell my house. What is it going to take for me to sell my house? You can't talk numbers or talk business until you get to the table. So now would be the time to start putting in offers on houses. Not, of course, just all over the place, but you got to pick the right house for you. Do the research on your house. Have your list of have-nots and must-haves. So you walk into a house knowing exactly what it is that you want, exactly how you want to turn that house into a home, and then you make your bid because you got to get to the negotiating table in order for those numbers to come out in your benefit. And that's kind of what we're here for, is because we want to make sure that you go into a situation where you have all your bullets in your gun. we want to make sure that you have the best opportunity to get what it is that you want by knowing the market, understanding the loan programs that are out there, understanding the market from a selling standpoint and the value standpoint. So you don't feel like you're overpaying for a house or that you are underpaying for a house or you're not happy with the loan. That's not what it's about. It's about you increasing and leveling up every single time.
Yeah, I mean, all of those things. And I think from my perspective, this is what happens, right? The amount of loan products is, I mean, that pool is really, really deep.
So is there one magic loan program?
No.
Is there a magic rate or not a magic rate, but a magic down payment that everybody has to pay?
No. There's a range. It can go from 0 to 20%. It just depends on what's right for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first step, as you talk to me, we start going through your pre-qualification is, I have access to somewhere around 900 loan programs. Okay, I give them 900, right? So and it's an invasive process. As we start going through this, it's just a big funnel. It starts to kind of close. Okay, these aren't right for you. These aren't right for you. This doesn't make sense. And then we start to hone in on 4 or 5 that make the most sense for you.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the ones we kind of focus on. And then I show you options. Hey, we can do any of these things. What makes the most sense for you? What's more important, cash out of pocket or monthly payment?
Mm-hmm.
What's more important, interest rate or cash out of pocket, right? And so we start to do some of these things.
Speaking of those things, most people when they come in and they think about that, they think there's really just one way how to get things done. It varies for everybody depending on their financial situation, right?
It varies for everybody.
Which is why it's important to just come to the table and talk to you and get the answers that's
Correct.
Specific to their situation.
Correct.
Because their neighbors might not be saying, because we hear all the time, well, my uncle got 2%, or my next door neighbor only had to put down 3%, or my cross street, he had to put down 20%. It's all different because of the individual's financial situation, right?
Everybody's situation, there are no two scenarios that are the same. So for example, people come in and tell me, I have 20%, I'm going to put 20% down no matter what. I'm like, okay. Then I show them, 20% doesn't necessarily give you the best interest rate.
Correct.
Often 15% will get you a better interest rate because there's just a tiny bit of mortgage insurance that you can pay in one single premium.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have good credit, that might be like $1,200. So you pay the $1,200 up front at closing. You go in with 15%. You never have a monthly mortgage insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Your interest rate is lower enough so that it offsets the $1,200 that you just paid.
Yeah.
And you have an extra 5%, depending on the down payment. You might have an extra, 5, 10, 15 grand in your pocket.
Yeah.
And you got the exact same deal with a better interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just one example of how we can do that. There's not a
give an example on if you got, let's say, minimum credit score 620. So you don't have a 740. Is it still possible?
Sure. It absolutely is. So you have a 620 and you're coming in and you're thinking, I have to put 20% down. No, you don't. You can get in with lots of times 3%.
Or less sometimes, depending on the program.
Correct. You come in with 3%, you come in with 0.
Yeah.
Right? So it's going to depend on everybody's individual circumstances, where they are. And the range doesn't matter from 600 to 800.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things in between that can change that. So my goal is just to get the best program for you, right? So I want to talk to you and your specifics, what makes the most sense for you, and get it done that way. And then that way, by the time you get DJ, I'm going to give them the details. This is what they want. This is the price point they want. Here they go. And then now you guys start shopping.
And we go house hunting.
Yeah.
The house hunting is the funnest part of the whole process. You look at a lot of houses and you pick the one that you want. You fall in love with that house. But we know your buying power at that point. We know how much you can afford. And we know how to negotiate the process to get you what you want. Because that's the ultimate goal, is to get you exactly where you want to be so you can start thriving in life. But from the loan side, as a real estate agent, the loan side is the key. You have to talk to the Corey so that you get exactly what it is that you need to get you where you want to be. The information is muddy. And we know, because it's a lot of information. And like I said, it's evasive. I mean, you got to give up your credit score, your income, your tax returns, all these things, because we want to fit you in the right box. We don't want you overthinking and that what they say, you want you want a $1 million house on a beer budget.
Yeah.
Exactly. We can work you to that.
Right.
But we got to start with the beer budget first and get you to that $1 million property. And it's possible with the plan. And that's the one thing that we really want to get you to understand is that it's all about planning, which means you got to talk to us. You got to ask the questions. We've got to give you information so that you can ponder on it, so that you know exactly what it is that you want to do. And then it's easy. Once we have that information, the process is easy from there. Getting pre-approval, as an example, give them the 3 steps as far as what they need to do to get pre-approved and how fast can they get pre-approved.
It's going to be up to you. Here's the thing. I can work as fast as you can work. Okay? Because I'm going to go through the application. We're going to talk rough numbers. And then I'm going to ask you for some documents. Right? And it's invasive, right? You're going to strip naked financially. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Don't worry, because we don't care. We've seen it all.
It is what it is. It's what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to get, depending on, what you do for a living and how you do, I'm going to get some combination of tax returns, pay stubs, W-2s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get your bank statements. And that's typically it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I'm going to get some combination, maybe all of those things or some of those things, depending on what industry you're in and how you get paid and all those sorts of things. And I'm going to get that and I'm going to analyze the numbers and I'm going to put it in. I'm going to say, hey, this is the budget here. We're going to go through your credit report. We're going to talk about everything that's on there. I'm going to validate that these are correct because I found mistakes on credit reports before.
Yeah. Every credit report's got mistakes.
Yeah, they all do. They all do. And you're going to be shocked at that. There's going to be variations of your name that you didn't know were ever used.
Addresses you ain't never lived at.
100%. We're going to go through all of that, and we're going to clean that up, make sure it's accurate, and go through all those sorts of things. So we run a thing called a fraud report,
mm-hmm.
which is going to list, like, again, addresses, aliases, all those sorts of things, known associates. Like this is, lots of people come in, they try to game, they think, you can kind of game it.
Yeah.
I promise you can't. You can't, right? Like there are too many resources now. And so it's going to go through all those sorts of things. And so we're going to go through all those sorts of things. We're going to figure it out. And I'm going to say, hey, okay, this is my estimated taxes and insurance on a house for this much. And if MI is applicable, we'll put that in there. And then here's your budget.
Mm-hmm. And by the end of the day, you'll know exactly what you can afford. But what you can afford might not be what you want to pay either. So this is why it is a process of talking back and forth to understand that we put a game plan together for you to succeed. But we can't do that if you're fearful of, doing an application.
Yeah.
I mean, you do applications all the time. You bought a car, you rented a house, or you rented an apartment, or you got a credit card. So it's not like you haven't filled out an application.
Right.
It don't hurt. But it just allows us to do the work that we need to do for you. Because in essence, you're hiring us to do a job for you. We work for you. So giving us the opportunity to do that just makes our job easier, as well as gets you what you want. So buying a house is so possible, so easy when you put the work in, just like anything else. I mean, we both go to the gym, we both work out.
Yeah.
He's old, I'm not, but when we go to the gym, we know we expect to work out. We know we ain't going to change that day. It's going to take going consistently, doing the things that we need to do, working out, eating right, thinking right, having the right mindset of the goal that we want to have. It's no different than buying a house. You got to put in the work in order to get the results that you want to have. And that's all mindset and a willingness to get what you want, because we can make it happen. There's no doubt about that. It's just a matter of you being willing to work with us and trusting us to do the job for you. But it's easy to get the application done. Having the documentation that he's talking about, you already have it. You may not have it all together, but you already have it. Once that happens, you're talking maybe we'll say on a long time frame, 48 hours, maybe, if that.
Yeah. And that's if you're self-employed with multiple Schedule C businesses or something.
It might take a little longer.
Yeah. If you're the typical W-2 employee, it's going to be hours once I have all the documentation.
Yeah. And that's just one step.
Yeah. I want to hit back on something that you said. Yeah. You said what you qualify for may not be what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And that's one of the questions that I always ask is, what's the purchase price you're looking for? And what is the most you're comfortable paying per month? Mm-hmm. And often those two things don't match. They're like, I want $700K. I'm like, okay, you qualify for $700K. Here's a $700K payment, and it's like
we hear that's a classic sound that we know what that feels like.
Yeah, and that's perfect because my job is not to push you to the most expensive thing either, because it does me no good. If you don't stay in the house, it does me no good. It erodes trust, and it makes you distrust the entire system. So my thing is like, how do we make you comfortable?
Yeah.
How do we get you in a house so that you're comfortable making a payment, and you're good? And that's the goal, not to push you out of your comfort zone.
Because the next step on top of that is what we call leverage, that you can take the house that you buy now and leverage that equity to buy the house that you want. So there's an entire process and plan that we basically can introduce to you so that you can have not just your idea of today, but also what might happen 3 years from now, what might happen 5 years from now, because life changes during that time. I mean, people buy houses for multiple reasons. They have kids, they get a job change, they get a raise. All these things change and they happen within a certain amount of times. And if you don't have a plan of what your next steps are financially, we're here to help you kind of map that plan out so that you understand that this isn't just a one-time thing. This is a process of taking you through your financial goals and giving you an opportunity to have all the information you need to make those decisions. That's what this is about. I mean, the more you know, the better choices you're going to make. The better you plan, the more successful you're going to be. So the answers to these questions when it comes to real estate or financing, you got the two right here that can basically answer any question that you have, because we've been doing this for quite a while. We love it. We enjoy it. We have a lot of fun at it, but it's more fun when we can help you.
Absolutely. I think that kind of sums it up perfectly, because I think the number that's in my head is that homeowners have 60% more personal net worth than renters.
Yep.
60%. So, and it's for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons that he just talked about is the leverage. And we talked about how you can necessarily come in with less money than you thought and keep that money to the side. Well, now what that does is it gives you options. You can invest it into the stock market. You can reinvest it into the house in ways that increase the value of the home. You can pay out bills or credit cards or whatever.
Which is the big one, getting out of debt. Completely kind of debt free from a consumer side.
Correct. Right? Now, how much would that change your life? You get into it, you lock down your most expensive, your biggest monthly expense, which is your housing, right? Because rents are going up, right? Rent can change or whatever. So the biggest obstacle to being able to retire, to stop work, is your housing. If you can lock in your housing and stop that from going up, and then you can have some extra cash to pay off some of these things on the side, and then even invest. Now we're talking about real power.
Yeah.
We're talking about real power in terms of getting control of your finances and changing some of those things. So that's why it's so important. That's why we're so passionate about it, is we know that this can be a life-changing experience, not just from the standpoint of buying a house, but from your entire financial existence and how you move in this world.
So what is one of the top questions that you get from your clients that come to you to apply for a loan?
What does my credit score have to be? I don't know. It's going to depend on your circumstances.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So, I've done as low as 540. Right. But again, like, the credit score was very low, but everything else was off the charts.
Yeah.
Right. So that works. But you could be 680 and have a mess.
Yeah. Because of debt. You can have 680 and have a whole lot of debt, and that takes you off the table a lot of times.
Yeah. So it varies so much, just depending on your individual circumstances. Now, I never say no. I might say not right now.
Yeah.
But even if you're in a circumstance, and I don't care if you're wanting to buy in 3 months or 3 years, I will put together a plan for you.
Yeah.
I'll say these are things that need to happen. It's very clear. It's very concise. It's a program that I have, and it literally will spit out step by step what needs to happen. And again, I will work as hard as you will work. If I call you, because I follow up. I
Yeah,
will
we
follow up.
Yeah, y'all gonna get tired of us following up. I'm telling you, because we on a mission too to get you what you want.
Yeah, I will follow up. So if I say, hey, I'm gonna follow up in 60 days and see where you are with the plan. If I follow me, you're like, well, see what happened was.
Yeah, what happened
doing
was,
this.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna follow up in 30 days.
Yeah.
But if you're not working, I can't do anything
for you. Yeah.
I can only work as hard as you're working. So I'm here for it. Call me. You know, my cell phone. You have my cell phone number. Call me, email, text me. I will answer questions. I will respond to you. I will update the plan. I'll do all of those things as long as you're engaged.
Ask questions.
Yeah.
Get your mindset to what you feel comfortable with before you make the move. The more questions you ask, the better decisions you're going to make. That's what we're here for. We want to hear from y'all. We want y'all to ask questions, no matter what the question is. As I say, there's no stupid question. It might sound funny, but there ain't no stupid question, you know. And we're going to help you through it, because the process to get you to where you want to be is more important. Setting you up for that process is more important than actually doing the work, because the work is not that hard.
Right.
It's pretty, you know, one step after another. It doesn't really change no matter where you go. It's a matter of feeling comfortable doing what you're doing. And we want to make sure you have all of your questions answered so that you can decide if you want to move forward or not. That's what we're here for. We want to make sure you have everything you need to make this happen, because the other side of this is so much more beneficial than just waiting and second guessing and not asking the question and wondering if you're going to make it happen. Because we'll make it happen if you just give us an opportunity just to talk to us. You don't got to do anything. We can't force you to do nothing. But at the end of the day, if you have the information, it makes you think the possibilities are there. The option is there. Yes, I can do this. And that's what it's all about, opening a door for you is really all it is. You just got to walk through it, because we see stuff like this all the time. On the real estate side, you have, like he said earlier, that there's a lot of houses on the market right now and the prices are dropping. But this is the time you want to get to the table, because when those prices drop, you have more power. As soon as the market changes, and it's going to, nobody knows when, we don't have a crystal ball, but I promise you it's going to change. But when it changes, you want to be ahead of that curve. That's why these moments are important. And the media is going to tell you that everything's going haywire and crashing and everything's falling apart. We're in the business. We're in the industry. We see behind those curtains. That's not going to happen. Not anytime soon. We can't guarantee it, but highly likely it's not going to happen.
No.
Because there's so much on the market right now that as soon as the rates drop, even 0.5% to 1%, if the Feds drop that rate, it's going to be a feeding frenzy, which means the prices of houses are going to go up. So you want to be on the other side of that so that you can benefit from the equity that's going to come onto your house when those prices go up, because you bought a house during a buyer's market and when sellers were just willing to almost give everything they can to get rid of the house because they want to sell it and you want to buy it. That's the negotiating process.
Yeah, that's the key. When things we are so programmed backwards. Mm-hmm. It's this is the opportunity, right? There's houses on the market, all the quote unquote negative headlines. Prices are slow, so high, dropping, and interest rates are high, and homes are sitting on the market, and the inclination is to go, oh man, things are really bad, I should stay out of there. And I'm telling you, now is the opportunity.
Now is the time.
Now is the opportunity.
Simple math. Let's say we got a $700,000 house right now, or let's say a couple months ago, mm-hmm. and the interest rate was like 7%. Mm-hmm. So the payment's going to be higher because the loan amount is higher, correct?
Correct.
So if that same exact house, because it's gone through being on the market for a long time, is now $600,000, mm-hmm. is your payment going to be less than $600,000?
Significantly less.
So if you bought that $700,000 house that's now at $600,000 because it was a buyer's market and prices were dropping, then the market changed, you could then refinance that house at a lower interest rate and get that much more equity because now the house is back up to 700.
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly how that would work. So you have a 700K house, drops to 600, you buy it.
So math is mathing.
Math is mathing, right? Right now it's about $60 to $65 per 10,000, right? Is what the math looks like in buying a house, right? So obviously $100,000 drop is, $700 a month ish, somewhere around there, right? Less than what it was, when it was 700K. So you do that, you come back, and now rates drop, feeding frenzy begins, home prices go up again, and now you're like, Corey, can I refinance at the lower rate? Yes, you can. And now you dropped your monthly payment again.
Even more.
Yeah.
Smart financing, smart understanding. When you have the understanding of the possibilities and the opportunities that you have when you become a homeowner, you can actually increase your net income, or not net income, but you can increase your net value by the equity that comes in the house when you drop your interest rate and you're saving more monthly. The value of the house continues to go up because the market shifts. So there's a lot of things that is available to you. It's just a matter of talking to us, getting that information, and enjoying a no fluff, no BS, real talk conversation to get you the answers that you need. Because there's a lot of negative stuff out in the media right now on all sides.
Yeah.
People are just not excited because it doesn't look pretty. But that's the time when you want to get in and get what you want and get what you need, because the market's low. So that is like you said, we think backwards. We want everything when it's nice and pretty and easy.
Right.
When so is everybody else.
Right.
You want to be on the other side of that when it's not pretty, but understand that the possibility and the values are there, because again, there's 100 years of data that we know how the market basically kind of works. Can't guarantee it, but we have similarities through the years that it just works out that way.
Yeah. And it's not linear. It's not a straight line. Yeah. There's dips here, and there's dips here, and there's dips here, and there's spikes and dips, but the overall trend is it's going up.
Yeah.
Real estate goes up. What the old saying is, buy land, because God's not making any more.
He ain't making no more of it. You own the dirt, you in good shape.
Yeah. So listen, it's my 2 cents. It's the advice that I follow. I can tell you, the biggest mistake I made, the first house I bought was 2006, right before the crash. And I promise you, I got rid of that sucker as soon as I could. The moment I could. I wasn't in this industry now. I was in finance, working at TD Ameritrade, but not specifically in real estate. And I got to 2009, 2010, and I got to a point where I could break even, and I got out. I was like, I'm out. I will never do this again. I will never do this again. Now, this was a starter home, nothing special about it at all. I mean, Formica, linoleum, every basic
upgrade there is.
Yeah, like downgrade. It wasn't even upgrades. It was just downgrades. No upgrades, all downgrades, right? It was my first house. Got in there. I drove by that joker not too long ago. That sucker's like $550.
That's how crazy real estate is.
So it's just one of those things, man. Like, I'm kicking myself.
Yeah.
That was an easy $400,000.
But the old saying is, what you don't know, you don't know.
Correct.
So that's part of the reason why we're here, to help you know, because the options are there. The opportunity is there. It's just whether or not you're willing to get the information so you can make a choice to better your life. Even if you're renting right now, there are programs out there for renters and down payment assistance programs for renters. There's ways, trust me, there are so many different ways. It's like putting together a puzzle. Once we have all the pieces of the information that you need, he's going to put together a financial plan for you to buy the house. Once we have that plan, we're going to look at, okay, how can we go out and house hunt and find the house that you want and get you your keys so that you can start leveling up financially with as a homeowner. It's really that easy. We just want to be a resource and a conduit for you guys to know that you can do it and the possibilities are there. Now, on the funny side of things with this market, it is nobody knows what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, you got to get in. You just got to get in the game so that you can start winning the way that you deserve to be winning. And we just want to help you guys do that. I guess anything else that you want to pop on or let them know?
No, that's it. Just let us know your fears. What are your fears about getting into the market? That's what I want to know. Yeah. And then we can address all of those, because we all have fears, and we've heard stories and all those sorts of things. What are your fears? Mm-hmm. And let me talk to you about your fears and why we can address those and take care of those for you.
Yeah, it would be awesome if you guys could drop a few questions in the comments, and then when we come back, we'll answer those so you guys can get a real time answer those questions to help out. Because I guarantee you, somebody else has that same question.
100%.
Somebody else has that same question. They're just not as maybe willing to ask the question because they think it's stupid. But trust me, no question is stupid. It might be funny, but it ain't stupid. But to end it, we appreciate you guys being here with us. We were starting this little kind of real talk session just because we see in the market that that people really don't get the answers directly in the way that they should, or that they're afraid to ask. We just want to make sure that you have an open space where you can do that and actually get real talk and real answers in a way that you can understand it. So we appreciate you guys being here. Of course, this new YouTube channel, if you guys could subscribe and like and do all that fun stuff, we'd appreciate it. Down in the comments, you guys will see that you can get a hold of either one of us if you have questions. But again, the more questions that you ask, the better it's going to be. We appreciate you guys being with us. Until next time,